Hey everybody, thanks for the questions that have been rolling in. I'll get to those in a minute. I've been working with several of you over the past couple of weeks, one-on-one, and some enlightening things have come up. With permission, I'll share some stories anonymously with things that popped up that I think everybody can learn from. But let's get to the first question. One is talking about ghee as opposed to butter in coffee or just using it on food. Yes, I use it. I like to use ghee. I mean, why is it that ghee and butter are good for you if you're using a good organic form? I texted out to you guys the type of ghee I like to use. There's a few things, but the most important reason why I like using ghee and or butter, ghee is a little bit higher in butyrate. Butyrate is a short chain fatty acid. Butyrate is the most preferred food for your gut microbiome. That's what happens when you eat fiber. It starts to ferment into short chain fatty acids. That's what your gut microbes eat. And butyrate is abundant in ghee and in butter. But there's also a lot of research on butyrate. And you can take butyrate as a supplement. There's sodium butyrate. I actually carried sodium butyrate here for a while. The problem is educating people on all these supplements and who's taking it and why. After a while, I just tell people here, just order this for yourself as opposed to and carrying it on the shelves, because it costs me money to carry stuff, obviously, and then I have to educate people about why it's there, which I attempt to do. But butter, ghee, yes, I use it. Do I use a stick of butter? No, but I don't shy away from it. As far as monk fruit sweeteners or just in general, like things like stevia, other sweeteners, I mean, they're better than white sugar, that's for sure. But in general, guys, the idea is to try to minimize any sugar as much as you can, whether it's artificial in terms of, you definitely don't want to be using things like Splenda and Sweet and Low, but monk fruit, there's a bunch of them out there now, agave syrups and things like that. They're not the greatest thing in the world. They're better alternative than white sugar, but in general, try to lower your sugar consumption as much as possible. A bunch of you asked about the stuff with sunlight. So what I will do is send you some videos you can watch or podcasts you can listen to dealing with sunlight. I'm just going to warn you that there's a lot of prerequisite knowledge that you have to understand about UVA, UVB, vitamin D, sulfate, nitric oxide. I've talked a lot about nitric oxide in the past and the benefit of sunlight, and specifically I talked about nitric oxide through the nose, that if you're breathing through your nose, that's where you're converting most of your nitric oxide, which is a vasodilator. Long story short, guys, nitric oxide is really important for the health of your body, but you're also converting nitric oxide through sun exposure, specifically UVA. And but UVB is also important, because in UVB sunlight, you're getting you're getting sulfur to be sulfated through the skin, which sulfates cholesterol. And you'll learn more about that if you want to listen to these podcasts and these videos. But along those lines, I got a question about how is it, or where is it, or how do I go about doing my research, and like how do I kind of filter through things? It's kind of a long story here, but first off, it starts off with a penetrating interest and being purposeful about playing devil's advocate. So always looking for the other side. So if you see one side saying this, what is the other side saying? Because the truth is usually in the middle. And as you listen to the experts, you can hear that the experts actually have people that they learned from and they cite. And if you go through, for example, books, you can look at who they're citing in books, or in research in PubMed articles, you can look at who they're citing, at the actual firsthand primary research, or if you listen to a YouTube video and you scroll down, they will often put links to other information or people that they learn from, but you normally see certain names pop up. And I'll be honest with you, like what you start to see are the people that are really popular in the media are not the experts. They're just a really good talking head. That's not to say that they're not brilliant people with a great background, but people that are like really nerdy and do the firsthand research tend to not get in front of a camera and talk. So some people get in front of a microphone and they'll talk reluctantly in a podcast or this or that. And those happen to be most often the people that you want to listen to, because they're the ones doing the firsthand research. They're the ones with the real hands-on understanding. And then there's some people who just work with patients all of the time and have real firsthand knowledge of what it's like to deal with thousands and thousands of patients over the course of years. And they have unique approaches that are worth listening to. So, I'll send you this stuff, guys, for the sunlight, and you'll see like, wow, man, like how did I never hear this information before? Why is it not out there? Because they do cite a bunch of research to back their claims. And it's true. Like I could just tell you that what I'm going to send you, I've looked into myself about UVA and UVB and what's happening there. And I've said from the get-go, guys, you can look back in the UTC manuals 10 years ago. Like there's a whole thing that says the sun and why you need to get into the sun and why I've advocated it and what happens in terms of when we're not getting in the sun. And they break it down into UVA and UVB. And I'm telling you that both are actually important. But ironically, one person is talking about the benefits of UVA. The other one's talking about the benefits of UVB. But the truth is that they're both important. So I'll just give you an example. It's not that I can't send you stuff where people are talking about both the benefits of UVA and UVB and what they do. I'll just give you an example of how some people can focus on one thing and not the other, and the other one can focus on that, but not this. But the truth is that there's benefits to both. Anyway, that'll keep you guys busy since so many people have been interested. All right, have a great rest of the day.